Vietnamese culture has traditionally placed women in the role of caretakers and homemakers. They are responsible for taking care of the household, cooking, and raising children, while men are expected to work outside the home. However, in recent years, Vietnamese women have shown remarkable resourcefulness in creating shelters, hunting, and living off the grid. Living off the grid refers to living without reliance on public utilities such as electricity, water, and gas. This lifestyle requires individuals to be self-sufficient and find ways to meet their basic needs. Vietnamese women have honed their skills in creating shelters, hunting, and living off the grid out of necessity, as many live in rural areas with limited access to modern amenities. Their resourcefulness and ingenuity have allowed them to thrive in these conditions. Vietnamese women have a deep understanding of the natural resources around them and how to utilize them to create shelters. They use bamboo, leaves, and other natural materials to construct their homes. These materials are readily available and sustainable, making them a practical choice for building shelters. Throughout history, Vietnam has been through many periods of war, colonization, and political upheaval. These events have had a significant impact on the roles of women in society. During times of war, men were often called to fight, leaving women to take on new responsibilities and roles. This forced women to become resourceful and adapt to new situations, as they were left to take care of their families and communities. Additionally, Vietnam was under Chinese rule for over 1,000 years, which heavily influenced Vietnamese culture and gender roles. Confucianism, a philosophy that emphasizes strict gender roles and hierarchy, was adopted by the Vietnamese and reinforced traditional gender norms. This further limited the opportunities for women to explore skills outside of their designated roles. One of the most important skills for Vietnamese women living off the grid is the ability to create shelters. Due to the frequent wars and political instability in Vietnam, many people were forced to flee their homes and live in remote areas. This required women to use their resourcefulness and creativity to build shelters using whatever materials were available in their surroundings. Vietnamese women often used bamboo, leaves, and other natural materials to construct their homes. They also developed techniques to build sturdy and weather-resistant structures, such as using woven bamboo walls and thatched roofs. These skills were passed down from generation to generation, allowing women to adapt to various environments and create shelters that could withstand the harsh conditions of living off the grid. In traditional Vietnamese culture, men were responsible for hunting and providing food for their families. However, during times of war and displacement, women were forced to take on this role. This led to the development of skills in hunting and gathering food, which were crucial for survival off the grid. Vietnamese women became adept at using various tools and techniques to hunt for food, such as traps, snares, and fishing nets. They also learned how to identify edible plants and fruits in their surroundings. These skills not only provided sustenance for their families, but also allowed them to trade or sell their surplus food for other necessities. Vietnamese women who live off the grid have mastered the art of building shelters using traditional materials such as bamboo and thatch. Bamboo is a versatile and sustainable resource that is widely available in Vietnam. Women use their resourcefulness to gather and harvest bamboo from nearby forests, and then skillfully weave them together to create sturdy walls, floors, and roofs for their homes. Thatch, made from dried grass or leaves, is used to cover the bamboo frames, providing insulation and protection from the elements. These bamboo and thatch houses are not only cost-effective, but also environmentally friendly, as they are made from natural and renewable materials. Another traditional method of shelter construction used by Vietnamese women is building with earth and clay. This technique involves mixing clay or mud with straw or other organic materials to create a strong and durable building material. Women use their knowledge of the land to identify the best soil and clay for building, and then use their hands and simple tools to mold the mixture into bricks or blocks. These earth and clay structures are not only affordable but also provide excellent insulation, keeping the interiors cool in the hot Vietnamese climate. While traditional methods of shelter construction are still widely used, Vietnamese women have also adapted to modern materials and techniques. With the availability of concrete and bricks, women have started incorporating these materials into their shelter construction. They use these materials to reinforce the bamboo and thatch structures, making them more durable and resistant to harsh weather conditions. The use of concrete and bricks also allows for the construction of multi-story buildings, providing more living space for families. Shelter holds great importance in Vietnamese culture, as it provides protection from the natural elements. Vietnam is prone to typhoons, floods, and other natural disasters, and having a sturdy shelter is crucial for survival. Vietnamese women, who are often the primary caregivers and homemakers, understand the importance of providing a safe and secure home for their families. Their resourcefulness in building shelters allows them to withstand the harsh weather conditions and keep their families safe. In Vietnamese culture, the home is considered a symbol of family and community. It is a place for gathering, sharing meals, and celebrating important occasions. Vietnamese women take great pride in their homes and put in a lot of effort to make them comfortable and welcoming. Their resourcefulness in building shelters not only provides physical protection, but also creates a sense of belonging and community. By using traditional building methods, women pass down their knowledge and skills to the younger generation, preserving their cultural heritage. In addition to using natural resources for food, Vietnamese women also rely on them for their health and well-being. They have a deep understanding of the medicinal properties of various plants and herbs and use them to treat common ailments and illnesses. For example, when someone in the community has a fever, the women will gather herbs such as ginger, lemongrass, and turmeric to make a healing tea. They also use herbs and plants to make poultices and ointments for cuts, bruises, and other injuries. This knowledge of natural remedies has been passed down through generations and is a valuable skill that allows the women to take care of themselves and their families without relying on modern medicine. Vietnamese women who live off the grid face the challenge of balancing traditional practices with modern ways of living. In Vietnam, there is a strong emphasis on traditional gender roles, with women expected to take care of household chores and children, while men are the breadwinners. However, as more women choose to live off the grid, they are breaking away from these traditional roles and taking on tasks that are traditionally seen as male responsibilities. For example, in rural areas of Vietnam, women are expected to do most of the farming and gardening. However, when living off the grid, these women often have to take on tasks such as chopping wood, fixing machinery, and building structures, which are typically seen as men's work. This requires a shift in mindset and a willingness to challenge traditional gender norms, which can be a difficult and ongoing challenge for Vietnamese women. Another major challenge faced by Vietnamese women who live off the grid is the lack of access to resources and education. Many of these women come from rural areas where poverty and limited access to education are prevalent. This makes it difficult for them to acquire the skills and knowledge needed to live off the grid successfully. In addition, the lack of resources such as electricity, clean water, and healthcare can make it challenging for these women to maintain a sustainable lifestyle. They often have to rely on traditional methods of cooking and heating, which can be time-consuming and labor-intensive. They also have limited access to modern technology, making it difficult to stay connected with the outside world and access important information. To overcome these challenges, Vietnamese women who live off the grid have to be resourceful and find alternative ways to meet their basic needs. For example, they may use solar panels or other renewable energy sources to generate electricity, collect rainwater for drinking and cooking, and rely on traditional herbal remedies for healthcare. They may also use their creativity and ingenuity to repurpose and recycle materials to build structures and make household items. We hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button to receive notifications for more videos like today's. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.